Good evening to all participants. Just an announcement to all of you. In a few minutes time, we will begin our session. So kindly be patient and tune yourself to this very special forum being organized by STM. In a few minutes time, once again, reminding all participants in a few minutes time, we will be starting this forum. Greetings to you in the sweet name of our Lord Christ Jesus. Warm welcome to each one of you, extending we the STM our sincere thanks and appreciation for attending to this special forum on Christian social care. It is all about being organized to organize. This is the theme given to all of us as we journey this forum. We are to be reminded that we are to be organized and to organize. And therefore, come, let us we go further, look to God in prayer. Come. Heavenly Father, we thank you, we praise you for the wonderful moment given to us to celebrate your grace together. We thank given to us to come together as a people of God to hear your word through thy servant Karthik. And you know, God, that we are in significant session praying that God, you will guide us through, you will lead us through, and make this session the most blessed one to all of us, praying that you will guide us through. In Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen. Thank you, friends. Once again, we STM extending our sincere thanks and appreciation for taking time and joining this forum. We truly wanted to say thank you. And our belief is through this session, you will be greatly blessed. This is our prayer and hope in the Lord Christ Jesus, that every participant to be blessed. And today, we are glad to inform you that we are having a special guest, Reverend Karthik, who is a PhD candidate and majoring in social science and management in university called Bielefeld in Germany. Currently, he is engaged in doing his thesis process. This particular forum divides into three major parts. First, our speaker will be dealing with social in Malaysia and its challenges. Second, he will be delivering to us findings and approaches. And finally, he will conclude with final remarks with question and answer. Friends, another announcement to all of you, there are Google Form being prepared. This Google Form is all about raising your question there, or please refer to the Google Form and please apply it accordingly. So without delaying, now I want to welcome our dear speaker, Reverend Karthik, who actually being called to do social ministry. Through social ministry, he is now deeply engaged himself with the social work. So without delaying, now I'm inviting our dear friend Karthik to take us through. Come, let us together, we journey with him. God bless.
Good evening to everyone. Thank you very much, Reverend Joseph, for the brief introduction. And I would like to extend my thanks and appreciation to STM, Reverend Dr. Fung, Reverend Daniel Ung, and there are a group of friends in STM, students and workers in STM. We put together this talk. So this is not a real a conference or seminar or something. As per what we see in the flyer, it is a talk on Christian social work. And particularly, that's the theme. And we're going to look at the topic of being organized and organize. I'd like to share the screen now, some slides here. Hope all of you can hear me well.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for some signal. And we thank God also through this media, this form we are meeting and talking. This is not very common to me or not used to, but we will try in all media, all medium, we can glorify God and continue to be prepared and be organized when we do social works. The title, Social Talk, Special Talk at STM on the theme Christian Social Work. And then the title or topic we are looking at, be organized and organize. Just for the terms, terminology, as part of the introduction, I would like to say that we are looking at Christian social care work. There are a number of terms, and we are not going to look at all the definition as per the definition, what is. But generally, we have this word social work, social care work, and some places we call it social service. And in the setting, we call it Christian social care work, Christian social ministries. And in the word terms like diaconia and diaconic ministry, these are the number of terms. We are not going to study or look into or to define what is social work and from the theological perspective or biblical perspective and all that, but general definition or general difference is when we say social work, it is a political, everyone, the nationwide, we understand what is social work means. Particularly social work is professional term, and those who have the social work license and they it become a profession. So those who are in this profession, they call social worker the social worker, and all the other without qualification, as to say the official qualification, social work diploma degree, we call it social care work because everyone can address the social need by caring. And because it is a service, so social service. And there are so many different religious perspectives social work is done, can be called, but we are now looking at Christian social care work. And in the church setting, we have this social ministry, and the word even diaconia, diaconic ministry is the word. Some people prefer the diaconia. I want to move to the next slide. It's not happening. Okay, thank you. So people like me, some people like the word diaconia is because the word diaconia in the church setting, some of the Bible verse that we can refer is in Matthew chapter 20, Jesus telling his disciples, when you have the power, when you are called, when you are in authority, it is to serve, not to be served. And even Jesus himself, the Son of Man, came not to be served, but to serve. That is one passage. And the root word for serve or service is diaconia in Greek. And therefore, in the church context, we are using also the word diaconia because it gives a model and it is biblical. And therefore, it gives a pattern or idea. We want to do the social work like how Jesus did. When he has all the authority, is to serve, not to be served, like the. And in another passage, Matthew chapter 25, Jesus identifies himself to those who are suffering. He says in the last judgment, the sheep and the goat being divided, or the people on the right hand side, left hand side, and Jesus, this is how the king will say, I was hungry, I was thirsty, I was sick. So you gave me food, you gave me water, and you visited me. And therefore come and inherit the kingdom of heaven, so eternal life. And the people will say, both those who done and those who have not done, when, Lord, did we see? And say to whoever in need, and you have given, and to the least you have, to the people who are in need, you have done, you exactly did to me. So this was also one of the reasons why people use the word diaconia, or the Christian social care work, taking the model of Jesus. And this is briefly the introduction that I thought that where we are starting. It is not about studying about what is social work, what is Christian social work, and into theology and things like that. No, we're going to just look at the main difference of this social work and Christian social work. The Christian social ministry, one is political term, another one is ecclesiastical, the church term, Christian context. Now, this is the content of this evening program. I divided two parts, as Reverend Joseph Yesupadam said. So first, we're going to look at the social work in Malaysia, how it is structured, how it is organized in a larger macro level. Some of the problem and challenges, there are 1,001 problems or challenges, we can say, one or two, three problems, and a need. And what I mean by the need, then we'll see together. Then we'll pass the session to the coordinator, or the Reverend Joseph. Then we'll look into the part two, that is all about. Now let's dive in. Social work in Malaysia, how it is organized. Again, we are not going very deep. When there is question in the discussion time, we're going to look at. Roughly, generally, we can look at social work in Malaysia. It is organized in such a way. We have Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat, the welfare department. And this comes under a ministry, the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development. And so under this ministry, there are a number of departments. And one of the department is the welfare department. In this welfare department, there are government organization and then non-government organization as well. And this non-government organization, there's also profit and non-profit. Clear or not so clear, it is there. We are to register. In this way, it is generally organized. So on the left, we can see that pyramid, the triangle. There is a macro level social work in Malaysia being organized. And there are where the policy is paid, the rules and regulation given, and then the overall checking or inspection or guidance or support. On the NGOs level, the meso level, we say, where we organize. This is where our church social work organization comes, meso level. And then this is official. There is also micro level, where the community people do and then help and support. This is not so official, the community level or micro level. Sorry. So look at that. We see in Malaysia, anyone, sorry for the word anyone, but it is loosely when we can use it. Anyone can organize and then form a social meso level, organize the NGO level social work, because it is roughly understood in Malaysia, social work organized such a way, it is a shared responsibility. Anyone can organize, and we are welcoming. In Malaysia, the context is like we are welcome to do the social work. So it's a shared responsibility concept. But we are now checking with also the shared accountability. Whether we have responsibilities, so everyone organize, we do, churches we organize, or other religious-based organization, or race-based, or any, we organize the social work as NGO and register. But whether we have the accountability, this is where we have the balance. If you notice yesterday's newspaper, the Star newspaper, there it is also raised a question: what is charity? What is charity organization? And how people are raising funds, and there are mismanagement, issues of governance, and things like that raised. So that is another fact or proof that stakeholders are asking, or we all as Malaysians, we are asking now, those who are in social work, we are asking now, where is our accountability? We have the shared responsibility, we are doing together, or we organize our work, but where is the shared accountability? Now we go into, that is roughly about the structure. I'm just printing some of the things, and then we go into discussion, if it is possible, raise question, and then we see how. Now, some of the problems, or we like to call it challenges. One is, it is all related to the structure, how we organize social work in Malaysian context. The increasing number of welfare organizations, with, if you just look at religious based organization, faith-based organization, we have our social Christians, we have Christian social responsibility and Christian social organization, and same goes to other faith organization. So from the context, in Malaysia, there are increasing number of welfare organizations. Some say it is good. Isn't it good that we have enough shops, or enough hospital, or enough and all that? But there are, from different perspectives, we have some challenges or issues. For example, from the perspective of the community, the people, people are asking which organization I can support, because this organization coming to us, they have genuine need and all that, they are helping. And to whom can should I give the money or donation? Because when we say the shared responsibility, everyone contribute, the government and the companies under SAR projects and so many other, and then from the perspective of community, the people, general people, the public, whom to? Because the organization going to raise funds, that's one thing. From the perspective of the government, to say the macro level, we have rules and guidance and things like that, policy, but increasing number, how to control, because everyone every organization want the tax exemption status. Everyone want it, and then how to control? We cannot say stop and then we can take care. Like some countries, their social social system is such, everything is with tax and all that. Our Malaysian context, this is the framework that we need to understand as we organize social work in Malaysian context. The shared responsibility made us, or contribute to increasing number of welfare organizations, that leads to some challenges. That's all. And because of many, based on race, based on religion, or based on even language, we have social organization. And this is also increasing we are working in divisions. If I may, we can say like the Chinese for the Chinese community, Indian for Indian community, Malay for Malay community, and or even if that is for language. If it's take based on religious, and then that's also we have. So there is divisions. Again, not wrong, but this is the situation, the condition that we are working. And this leads like independent working culture. Like everyone work in a circle, and dependent is considered bad, being dependent. Independent, like I like as something good. But we are, the interdependent working culture is it's not there, or it is very, very less or challenging level. So this division, working different organization with our faith group, our language group and all that, is created not only division but independent working culture. That's also challenge issue for me. We can take it up. And as we work in division and independent working culture, we are also like, there is competition instead of cooperation or collaboration. This is another challenge where we have so many organizations and then we have limited resources. Take, for example, the financial resources, a donation. Whoever the fast, the strongest, they are the one getting. And in what we call indirectly, we have created this the competition, and because of the structure of the system, and we are working in competition. Let's, for example, another organization in our neighborhood comes. We have a social organization, another organization also opening a shop, for example. We can say that. What will happen to some? That there is like a tension, and then these are the challenges or problems and leads to many other issues. And this is framework that we need to understand when we organize our social work or do our social work. That's my concern or point I would like to make here. And then I would like to pose here now with this slide a question. Let's say we, a Christian or the church, no matter what, and we are there in the center, we have this roughly these three, the divisions and the increasing number of many organization, and competing like who is doing better job, and or who can do greater fundraising with greater level, all those things. These are the challenges around us, and how are we addressing it? How are we doing our social work? Are we going to compete? Are we going to work within, and then we continue to do this independent way of looking? Or is there any other way for us to work together, because the resources are limited, the scarcity of resources, that's a fact. And this increasing of social work and comparing and competing, what will happen? This is a newspaper cutting that I would like to highlight. Like yesterday's news is, one of the news is our King's speech at Parliament session. And just right below on the first page of Star newspaper, keeping an eye on charities, that is the highlight. And it says stakeholders are saying, do we social work organizations, social workers, Christian social workers or churches, as we do our Christian social work ministries, are we aware of the stakeholders that we are dealing with? Stakeholders are our client, or those people who are serving, those people who are giving donations or supporting us financially, and those people, those who are in the media, those who are our competitors. Competitors also the one of the stakeholder, and government, suppliers and staff. Those people who are coming to our church, our Christian church members, are stakeholders. Everyone is now saying, or we need to keep an eye on charities, because there's increasing, because there's issues of scams, fundraising policies, governance, things like that. So page 6, there are good coverage, and by Zakia Koya, there is this article or news written. And here also, what is charity work? People don't understand now. Or this is the question. I mean, we don't understand what definition of social work or things like that. This is what happening. People are now asking the question. Charitable organizations are governed by different statutes and laws. There is no proper monitoring, and charities are governed by whether Sharia law or civil law. And these are the questions raised by the community. Matter of governance and good management, charity organization. They are talking about our Christian social work as well. This is how I see. Now, under the third, the need. So looking at challenges and problem now, what do we need? What I mean that we need to know that, or we need to accept, or we need to understand first, the science of social work or diaconia is interdisciplinary science. because science means how we are to act, do this. Like, for example, like medicine, there is a science of medicine. With health and all that, there is a science altogether. For the issue of social work, what is the science involved? What is the discipline then involved? And it is called interdisciplinary science. I will explain what is this one by one, what I mean that by that. Second thing is social care work need to be organized and managed. We need to know that. We need to understand or accept that. If we don't organize it, what will happen? It will become unorganized. And if we don't manage it, it will be mismanaged. So how are we going to do that? Again, with the challenging competition and all that, how are we going to manage it together with others, organize the work together with others? This is another thing that we need. And the third is Malaysia, multiracial, multi-religious, multilingual. It's a pluralistic context. And any organization, when we take even now the STM, an organization, STM, Seminary Theology Malaysia, it is a pluralistic context where we have economists, managers, theologians, those who are expert in IT. We have different disciplines and rationality when we address a problem. And we need multi-rational management. And we need to, this is what we need to understand. Without this, just social work, just with our one discipline of social work is theology. Just with theology, we cannot address or find a solution for the social issues in Malaysia. So the highlighted, the thing that number 4 is we need to cooperate and to work together with others. And this is part by part, the one, number 1, the need, the science of social care work is, the diaconia is interdisciplinary. This is what I said, that in order to look at the, one of the example of social work is social concern is poverty. Economists will look at the problem differently and define the problem differently. Education, that discipline look at the problem differently, define the problem. Politicians, legal, religion, health, or even theology. We have, because address, solve a problem, we have to understand the problem. When we understand the problem, social concern for the matter of our discussion, when we understand the problem, half of the problem is solved. But right now we have one understanding or limited understanding. We need to work together. That's why the science of social care work or diaconia is interdisciplinary science. Second, social care work need to be organized and managed together with others, like how with economists, educationals or teachers, politicians, the government, medical experts, legal experts, and so on. And this one, we have to organize under this. I want to take this terrible. Before that, this again, Star, Good Samaritan, the word is mentioned in Star newspaper. In NST and other English newspaper also, this word is mentioned in Malaysian context, the word Good Samaritan. From a small research I've done, asked people, what do we understand Good Samaritan? Out of 10 people, 3 people know what Samaritan, what it means, or they know the original story. The other 7 English reader, they read the news and the word Good Samaritan. They say, they do not know the original story, Good Samaritan, which is in the Bible. Jesus told the parable. But they say, which is generally understood well, a person who go out of their way to help another person. So Good Samaritans are those who are helping. So this is the parable of Good Samaritan. I'm sure all of you know, told by Jesus Christ. For the question raised, my neighbor, the person who I need is my neighbor. So that is the understanding. So in the scene, a man was beaten, robbed, left to die on the street. We know the first guy passed by, he saw, and then took the other side of the road and continued the journey. The second man, we don't want to talk about his their profession or who according to the story Jesus told the parable. Second person also saw the man, this wounded man, and he took the other side of the road and then went by. The third person was this Samaritan, and because of his action of helping, he was called Good Samaritan. At least is written in the Bible with the heading. This person basically did help. Helping is social care. Christian social care work is, if it is definite very high or very dictionary definition, we can take it as a layman term, simple. Helping is social work. Christian social work is basically helping those who are in need. And then we can learn number of lessons from this parable. And this is one of the main story of biblical passage for diachronic studies. From the biblical perspective, theology and all that. Good Samaritan was a person who was organized to help. He was prepared. He had wine and olive oil. So when he saw this wounded man, he had pity, compassion. And so he went to the guy and then he opened his first aid box and then he started cleaning his wounds and then doing the bandage and all that. So he was prepared and he also knowledge and skills how to give first aid. So this being organized is very, very important when we do social work, because there are some people or there are incidents, or we know maybe there are a number of examples, people do more harm than really helping another person because we do not know. So it is important to be organized. What I mean by organized, self-organized means we are prepared and then we acquire knowledge and skills and train for that. Without training, there are incidents we know, you can witness as well together. We can say there are situations where you see people do not know the trade, do not know how to do, but they are already organized. And that is one of the reasons why some of the mismanagement or scams and then issues and the stakeholders now asking question. Another thing, lesson from the parable of Good Samaritan, organizing the help. This Samaritan, he organized the help, helping this man, wounded man, with his donkey. And second, he took this wounded man to the inn, and with innkeeper also, he is organizing the help. So it is not one time just a person asking for something and then you give, but we have to sustainable social work means we have to organize it and manage it. Then only the problem, the issue will be definitely solved. If not, situation where many more organization or many more people say we also help, but the issues will not be solved. It's only a temporary solution, or not even solution, it's only harm. Another thing we can observe, the social responsibility of our people. From this incident also we can say 1 out of 3 is the person who is ready to help, is Good Samaritan. The others are not the Good Samaritan. And if you see this picture, the slide, social responsibility, as I said, it's a shared responsibility in Malaysian context. But the phenomenon, the situation is 1/3 of people who are doing, the social workers or all of us, or we are doing, the 2/3 are not doing in a way that gives demotivate or discouragement for those people who are just, not just, but for some reason, we don't want to judge person or condemn anyone. The other person have something else to do, or maybe because we are not doing properly and there is or other things are not there. So this situation or phenomena is there. Social responsibility is handed over to others, or it is said that somebody else will do. It's not me. I'm not trained. I cannot do. Yeah, how to do, I do not know. You are better at that. You have trained, and so you do. If like this, then there's also issues that are happening in Malaysia also. The social workers, caregivers, pastoral caregivers, they're tired. And if imagine if this Good Samaritan, he also said, I'm tired of keep on doing, helping people. stop, what will happen to this guy who's wounded? So we can take some of this lesson. This I've covered. 2/3 of our people, we don't want to judge, they are there. That's already good. And 1/3 of us are Good Samaritan. What we need to do as Good Samaritan, we can learn. Don't just, we are not just work or give social care or ministry, taking the lesson from Good Samaritan, love our neighbor, we become the manager or the leader or organizer of social work, our diaconic or social care ministry. We have to, from giver, not just being giver, like Good Samaritan, we organize it. He organized it with his donkey and then innkeeper, and then he gave money and all that. So, and then he said, I will come back and then I will settle other bills and all that. So there's a continuation. So we have to organize it. That's one example. Another quick example, not going deep in this, like how Good Samaritan just now. Nehemiah, he organized the rebuilding of the wall of Jerusalem. You know the story. We know the story well. He had this passion, he also wanted to do, he has been called, and he has this burden and all that, but he never do it alone. And he organized it, and within 52 days, it took only 52 days to complete the, and people laughed, and people say it's not possible and all that, but they were. So Nehemiah, he was a manager. If we take lesson from him, he is a diaconic or social care ministry manager, or he is a leader. He organized it, not just doing alone. So alone we cannot achieve. That is one of the message I would like to say. So we need to understand that we need to organize and manage it. Then we enter into the subject of management. And that is one of my expertise of what I studied in Germany. We have good heart, we have compassion, we pity, and then we serve. But when it comes to organizing in an organization, manage and social organization, we need to understand certain things. Like when it comes to management, the management pole, POLE, P stands for planning, organizing. There is leadership and evaluation. And under organizing and leadership, it is all mixed work. We have to look for the right staff. The staffing is there, mobilizing the resources, coordinating, controlling. If the word controlling is not good, then motivating or encouraging. All these things need to be there in our organization when we organize our social work. And this slide talks about the importance of management and the 4 levels of organizing. For example, when we want to organize it, these are some of the terms that is there. If we don't organize it, it's become unorganized or unmanaged work, and we know what will be the consequence. If it is too over-organized or over-management, also will be a trap or will be a challenge. And under-organized, it is just not right. We need to learn more, or we have to do that. So what is the perfect way of organizing together with others, or self or together with others? We have to come out with, we have to think together. We have to identify this challenge or issue together. These are 4 levels of organizing or managing help that have come out with. Personal, as a caregiver level, also we need to organize or manage. As a client level, also we need to organize. We have to organize the help with our client or the care receiver, and the immediate family members we also need to organize. And the extended, which is the community or even the government level, the meso level, we also have to, the society level, we have to work with everyone to organize and manage the help, because we want to manage the needy. This is the reality. We have to organize, we have to work with our own self, with our mind, body, soul, spirit, within ourselves, intra and without, the external, the care receiver, immediate and extended level. Now, the third point is pluralistic context and the organization. We need to know that when we organize our social work, we are working with, we take Nicholas Luhmann, the social system theory. We have our society, social system is very, very complex and huge. Under the social system, there are so many subsystems. Systems like the earlier said, economic system, education system, political system, legal system, medical system, even religious system. We are in the subsystem, and every system has a logic, way of understanding, way of rationally understanding a problem and finding a solution. And when it comes to management, it is about problem solving and decision making. So how are we making decision, solve the problem together with other disciplines, together with other rationality? So these are some of the books as written. The need of multi-rational management, or managing in a complex world. How are we managing an organization? Comes to our subject, social organization management, our Christian church-based social organization management. How are we managing this organization with this complex world? So there are some reference. And finally, we need to cooperate and work together with others. And when I think about that, there are a number of management models, this and that, but I would research more on the Gotong Royong. And then after the short break, and then we'll come to the part 2. And so, Reverend Joseph, I pass the time to you.
Dear friends, once again we say thank you to our dear pastor, Reverend Karthik. And of course, we are all fully aware that sitting too long and looking at the computer screen, not good. Therefore, encouraging all of you to take 1 minute break, just move around, stretch your physical body, and come back to this session. Just take 1 minute break, take a light walk, and come back to your chair and continue our second part of this forum. Thank you very much. Friends, please put your car. It will be good that we will not have any interruptive noise. It will be set paper. Thank you very much. Please unmute. So we will continue our second part of the forum. Surely we will not take much time. So come, let us invite once again our dear speaker, Reverend Karthik. Continue his presentation. The second part of his, the second part is all about his PhD studies, his research, and also presenting a model how the social management can be seen. So welcome our speaker, Karthik.
Hello again, Vanakkam. There is a Google form. I'm collecting, I'm doing a research about Gotong Royong and then our situation in Malaysia and all that. So Sir Jesselyn is putting in the chat, there's link. And then please help me to support my research also. And then whether you say yes and all, it just take like about 2-3 minutes. And then please do and complete that. That will be very helpful to my research, PhD research studies upon completion of my dissertation. Now, welcome to part 2. Sorry if a bit fast, just to cover, and then this is just to present and then see how we can see the situation in Malaysia. Okay. About my PhD studies and dissertation, this is what mainly I studied: diachronic science in the perspective of science, science, social work, science. As how I covered earlier, the interdisciplinarity, it is important, and then we learn from different perspective how to study and understand the problem and devise a solution for the problem, and even apply the solution that we devise together with others. So we need interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinarity is the science of diaconia, or science of Christian social work, and it's based on research and theory and empirical. It is not just it is not saying just to belittle, but it is not about hearsay and all that. It is, there are so many research done, and based on research and published work, And so that's what diaconic science. So then the second part is managing the diaconic organization or the social Christian social work organization, managing it. What are we need to learn and study and things like that. So multi-rationality, one of the major subject. And then I would like to highlight these management models. In generally in West or even East, people generally ask, how are you doing work? How are you approach? How are you doing the social work? For example, if that's the question, they're actually asking, or we are asking the word, the model that we use. And in my research, let's say out of 100, okay, out of 100, only about 10 people, they say, I use even church model or a particular model or Jesus model, for example. But generally say why we need a model, why need a pattern. And for that question, I would answer that model is like it's like a map to understand where we are, to where we to go, and to assess or to analyze the situation. So under that, this St. Gallen management model is one of the highlight, one of the best. It's a holistic model, and I become a fan of this model. But I'm not coming to Malaysia and say that this is the model, let's practice this model. No, we definitely have to do contextualizing and all that. But this is a holistic, based on this system theory, which is open system theory. If it is the center, the cube kind of the box cube, that is, say, our social Christian social organization or our church or an organization. Or now, right now I'm in STM, so this is STM, let's say. So around us, we need to pay attention. We have to pay attention to the nature, the climate, and if there is storm and all the nature, we have to pay attention. The society, the people in the political issues and political climate that we are in, we have to. That's the society part. Even the culture. What is the culture we are living in? And economy. This is also this fear. We have to pay attention, because all this affect, like technology also, we have to pay attention. If we don't pay attention to this areas, then we cannot manage and organize whatever work as an organization properly. And we have these stakeholders, the competitors, suppliers, government, public or media, NGOs, employee, investors, and all these are our stakeholders, and we are relating with these stakeholders through resources, the norms and values. Everyone has a norm, a standard, and they are communicating or requiring or expecting a value. They have their concerns and they have their interests. The NGOs or the media or the public, the government have concern and interest. Even our employees, when they are working in our organization, we all come to our organization from this world. So this is a very, very comprehensive model. It's called the new St. Gallen management model, and it's developed, and there is no updated version and all that. So this talks about part of the studies, or this part of my PhD studies, that made me to think what model that we are using, what approach that we are taking when we address social concern, how we organize as a organization. So in that way comes the word gotong royong. When I ask myself, what is the model that I have been using in my work, or when I observe with my experience of in the church-based Christian social care ministry, many ministry that we do, how we are doing together with the community, even church and with the community, how we do. The gotong royong model is what I've been using, or number of our friends or the people here in Malaysia we are using, because this is very, very effective and all this. So I research based on that, and then I come out with the title Gotong Royong Social Management as the thesis, or the title of my dissertation. So what I mean by the Gotong Royong, we'll briefly see with that another slide video. And then what is the social management what I mean by social management. It is the act of organizing social projects or even managing social welfare activities and the social welfare organization. So it includes commercial enterprises, welfare with welfare objectives, whether state or um, the local foundations, children's home, and everything. So everything comes under the social management. So this is what I mean with what I say Gotong Royong social management. Uh, there is a slide with audio. We'll pay attention. This is about the research, my research on Gotong Royong in Malaysian context. What is the definition from the research findings? I invite you to listen to this.
Selamat sejahtera. My name is Karthik Sibanyanam. I am currently in Germany to complete my PhD studies in the science of social work and management. In my research work, I have discovered and learned some interesting facts about Gotong Royong. Via this audio presentation, I would like to share it with you and would like to hear your comments too about Gotong Royong. The word Gotong Royong is a Javanese word. That means the practice of Gotong Royong is originated in and came from Java, Indonesia. In Java, the word Gotong means to carry or lift something heavy using one's shoulder. The word Royong means together with others. Thus, Gotong Royong means to carry or perform a hard work together with others. Loosely, it means to plan, to organize, and completing a community project together. At first in Malaysia, Gotong Royong was part of the Malay culture, but later this practice became common to almost all Malaysians and is now well practiced by every community. Those days, it was very common to see how our Malay neighbors come together, organize to cook dodol, kuih muih, and make ketupat during Hari Raya. Our people in kampungs and plantations used to come together and organize themselves to build bridges, repair neighbors' houses, or other public facilities. Many say that Gotong Royong has been introduced to them as early as they were in their primary schools. Gotong Royong was taught as a moral value, and it was practiced to clean and take care of school environments. Although Gotong Royong is still practiced in Malaysia, its usage and frequency are not like before. It is also noted that the Gotong Royong practice is more common among the communities in villages and plantations rather than in the city. To prevent the breeding of Aedes mosquitoes and the dengue fever, the Gotong Royong approach is being used to bring awareness and organize cleaning works in the residential areas. During and after floods, Gotong Royong approach is commonly used to organize and execute cleaning and rescue works. Reports say that even during the COVID-19 pandemic, help was gathered, coordinated, and distributed to the needy in the Gotong Royong manner. Gotong Royong contains values such as sukarela, voluntary service, tolong-menolong, mutual helping, kerjasama, cooperation or working together, perpaduan, unity, and semangat kejiranan, the spirit of neighborhood. Gotong Royong gives hope and wisdom. It makes a big, hard, and complex work to be done easier and faster. Gotong Royong ensures sustainability. It uses time, resources, and manpower well in accomplishing a task. Gotong Royong invites and includes everyone. Thus, Gotong Royong ensures inclusion, diversity, and identity. Gotong Royong encourages the societal and community spirit. It promotes trustful relationship with neighbors and strengthens community interdependent living. However good the Gotong Royong is, the practice of Gotong Royong is getting lesser and lesser. Gotong Royong is also being limited to its usage. At times like now, it is limited only to organize the cleaning works. By right, actually, Gotong Royong is not cleaning work itself, but it is about how a cleaning work is performed. or any work for the matter. Gotong Royong is about how a complex and a huge task which cannot be completed or done well alone, but it's organized together with others by planning, gathering resources and needful help, performing tasks voluntarily for the sake of community well-being. Gotong Royong is a way of cooperating and working together. It is an approach to plan and organize a work for the common good. I am hoping that this Gotong Royong, our Malaysian mutual helping cultural approach, will continue, especially in organizing and managing the many community welfare care works and projects. Thank you very much for your attention. Selamat sejahtera. Selamat.
Okay, thank you. If we may ask a question or quiz, what is Gotong Royong? Because Gotong, is Gotong Royong a Malay word, Tamil, Chinese, Mandarin, Hokkien? So there are people who think that Gotong Royong, the first people in Germany, when we talk about Gotong Royong, there was a question, is Gotong Royong Arabic? Because to some people, it sounds like an Arabic word. Then later from the research, I find that Gotong Royong is a Javanese word, and Gotong means carry something heavy using the shoulder, and then Royong means together, and this is what Gotong Royong means. And now from the slide audio we have heard, I've said that Gotong Royong has been limited to cleaning. When people say Gotong Royong, that means cleaning work, cleaning sampah, sapa, and all that. But it is not cleaning itself, but it's an approach how we are organizing and doing the cleaning work. And then we can trace back, and from my research or even asking interviews and all that, the time in Sabah was very fruitful, and there Gotong Royong is very much practiced, not only for cleaning, but for many other things. And then from our those days experience, we also know from this side also, Peninsula, Gotong Royong way of organizing a kanduri when there is a funeral also, the kampong or the village or plantation setting, how we have seen people come together, work together. For the wedding also, even Malaysian, many different communities, people give the money or the ang pao or the donation and all that to together do. All this talks about Gotong Royong. So earlier we saw a number of challenges or issues, like we are working in divisions, we are independent, we have this competition issues and all that. And because of all those things, we have some challenges that looks like this is how it is there, and then what we can do. And please understand, the social work, that the studies and all that when I do in Germany, we are not comparing, I'm not comparing anything that I learned with any other country. We are only comparing ourselves and with the potential, what potential we have, and what are the possibilities that we have. And since Gotong Royong, when we mention, everyone understand this is our Malaysian culture. None from my 100 over research or asking people with using, with friends, none of anybody from Malaysian context, all races and with religious background and all that, none say that Gotong Royong belongs to anybody, any particular group. Everyone say it is Malaysian culture, and everyone understand Gotong Royong. This is coming together and working. Yes, now they say it's for cleaning, but it is an approach. It is so there is also planning, there is also organizing, there is also leadership, there is also evaluation. There is even more in Gotong Royong, but all these elements are in management, the management pole: planning, organizing, leadership, and evaluation. And there are additional elements in Gotong Royong. It's fun. So my Sabahan friends, so they say, Seronok lah when we work Gotong Royong. So as Gotong Royong, when we organize even social work, that is the idea. The idea is when we can come together to clean, or when we come together to prevent the breeding of mosquito, Aedes mosquito, to prevent the dengue fever. Why not we come together also to prevent poverty, for example, social concern? We can come together. We know how to do it, and we have done it before. And for other things, for cleaning and for after flood and things like that. So in Gotong Royong, if you look at theoretically, there is this theory, two theory. One theory is we know the survival of the fittest, the evolution, the development of human civilization, we have come to this stage is because the fittest, we have survived by competition. That is one theory. And there is another theory which is less famous, less preferred. It is the mutual aid or cooperation theory. We have come to this level because we plan or we decide to work together. It is not in competition we have come to this level, but we in cooperation. So the animal kingdom or the species, we are where we are now is because of cooperation. So that is one theory, theoretically, how it supports the Gotong Royong social management. And the second is, we can see this situation, the two phenomena. One is our community people, we have this responsibility. When people are crying, when people are sad, or people are in need, social needs, we have this ability to respond. Like we say, kasian, that is already a response. We say, sad to hear. All these are our response. So we have our responsibility. We responded, but we have to move again from that pity. Same like how in the parable of Good Samaritan. He had pity, the Samaritan had pity, and then he went and he respond. He has this response, then he organize it. So that is one social responsibility. We have it as a capital in our society. People have it. The second is how the Gotong Royong works. This responsibility, this two circle on the left and the right, we can see the big circle. It's called circle within a circle. I've coined this word temporarily. The big circle, the dotted circle, is the community. It stands for community. A community can be big or small. And the second is this community. Within the community, there's kind of like this focus lens. This lens is moving around. People are talking about a social need. There is a family, or there is this family who lost a house or because of the flood or fire, and people of pity, and this news is going around. People are talking about it for some time. And when the Gotong Royong happens is when the community align itself and to stop this focus lens and then say, this is what we want to do together to help this family. Or this is what we want to do. In our community, there is this dengue fever cases, and there are longkang, all the drains are clogged, and there is this water takong here and there. There's issue of the water stagnation, drain and all that. The talk is going around. And then when the community align itself, stop it and then align itself, that's where Gotong Royong takes place. And this is where I would like to say that our role, just like the Good Samaritan, the role of the pastoral caregiver or the social care worker, or as a Christian social care organization, we have to, or we should organize the social care work. In order to organize the social care work, to organize the Gotong Royong, we need to be also organized. We must know. And using Gotong Royong approach, we can organize the social work together in the community. That is briefly why I started or doing the research under the topic of Gotong Royong social management being my title. And I'm right now collecting some data, additional data to complete my dissertation, and there will be defense and all that. And generally in my university Bielefeld in this Germany, people are now know what is Gotong Royong, and people beginning to ask what is the Gotong Royong word for, because every community has working together culture. Like in Philippines, it's called Bayanihan. Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, Malaysia, we use gotong royong, and talkud in Finland, it is called talkud, and for Germany, maybe gegenseitig Nachbarschaftshilfe can be said. So this is how so as conclusion, I would like to conclude, and then we go into this question, not answer, but the question and response. We have covered the terms diaconia, social work, social concern ministries, the terms just to say what is Christian social work. That is this concept of Jesus as the model, diaconia. So Christian social concern ministries have this additional part of, we have the model of Jesus, and that is our model. And social work in Malaysia, we have seen roughly the structure, and we need to understand that the framework condition that we are working and organizing our social work, we need to pay attention to this, because from St. Gallen management model also, it is like the framework where we are right now. It is need to, in order to organize our work. And we have seen some problems and challenges and the needs, what we need to understand and realize or accept. Many people in denial also when it comes to this, and then working within the circle. And some management lesson from Good Samaritan, and not so much, but a little bit from touching the Nehemiah example. So Nehemiah is like, he organized Gotong Royong. So Gotong Royong is not only from Java, it is leads the history is going back to the Bible, even to Nehemiah. He's actually organized the Gotong Royong way. He used the Gotong Royong approach to organize the rebuilding of the wall of Jerusalem. And we also, we also looked at social care work or social care support. It is a shared responsibility, and we also have to deal with accountability. The Gotong Royong we have roughly seen with this audio, an approach to cooperate and work together. So Gotong Royong is an approach. It is not cleaning, but it's an approach to organize anything. So it is an approach to cooperate and work together with others. So some of the challenges that we have mentioned, or we have looked at it, the working independently within our circle and with limited resources, these challenges will be tackled when we work in a bigger circle, in the Gotong Royong circle, in the community, together with the community as church. So that is my thesis title, Gotong Royong Social Management. So this is Gotong Royong, and thank you. Now I pass. Okay, thank you very much.
We say thank you to our dear brother Karthik for his presentation on Christian social care work. Truly, we are being edified, and we again say thank you to Karthik for the precise presentation on this given topic. Friends, dear people of God, at this point of time, I'm actually requesting you whether is there any questions or clarification that you are in need with, you are actually asked for. Please place your questions, or you also can put it in the meeting chat so we can pick up from there. We can continue with our discussion. So there is a question and posted by Brother Samson. We can read together in meeting chat. His question is, how do we use Gotong Royong principle to eradicate poverty or low level of education? So can we ask our facilitator, Reverend Karthik, to give some thought to this question? Thank you.
So thank you very much, Brother Samson, for the question. And Gotong Royong is actually working together with others. So together with others, some of the things that we've seen that other disciplines, so economists, educations, teachers, educations, medical doctors, those who are in medical, politicians, those who are making policies and all that. So it is together. So Gotong Royong principles is like, in Gotong Royong, we make an announcement, we say this is the task, or together we have found. So the question is, how do we use gotong royong principle? The gotong royong principle is about inviting everyone, sitting with everyone, and asking the question, what is need to be done? In this case, eradicate poverty or low level of education for anything. Unless we agree with one objective, so agreeing with one objective, that is, there are elements of management there. The planning part, what is our objective? How are we going to, what strategy we're going to use? That is one, planning. So we all know those people, those of us who have experience of participating in gotong royong of even cleaning our environment, or after a flood, cleaning our neighborhood. So we are clear, and we declare a date, or we declare the task, delegate the task, collecting the resources. So eradicate poverty, we have to sit and then we have to plan together. So that would be my response, how we use gotong royong principle.
Okay, thank you. And is there any other question or clarification needed? You are welcome to ask questions and also seek for any clarification. We have another question being posted by Brother Michael Pang, and we can read it in the meeting chat. What issues of leadership and goals management are key in Gotong Royong management, social management? Something which is very important, and very important questions being raised by our dear brother Michael Pang. And let's hear from our facilitator Karthik.
Straight away, what comes to my mind, the issues of leadership means when we use the issues word, it's the challenges or the problems. Not anybody can call for gotong royong. I mean, people can call for gotong royong, okay, come and help, or come, let's do this. But it is, so leadership is definitely an important aspect, issues. Gotong royong leader, I've written also an article, gotong royong leader. Who is a gotong royong leader or gotong royong manager? Is a person who involved in the community, a person who involved in other person's life. And so when we call, so during my time in Sabah, when I asked even the Bishop Justin from the PCS, there's the term used is, we all know, turun padang. A gotong royong leadership point is, they are not like a boss, say you go and then you do and then you sit in somewhere. So gotong royong leader, when it comes to leadership and all that, is turun padang. And goals management, I would say, if we have too many number of goals, we have to take one by one. So we have to manage it according to the priority. If we agree with the priority, then we can. If it is children work, and then we can work together. Of course, children is different, and then any other social concern is different. So different, and then we have to identify what is the goal and the focus. If you are working for the children and the other person working for the women, then the group is different, and then the community. So those people, social work organization doing children, and then they work together with. So this is basically how I can management a key gotong royong, I would say. That and SOC and MGT, what does it mean?
Social
okay,
management.
Okay, gotong royong. Key in gotong royong social management. I hope that is my response. Definitely, it's not an answer directly, but it's a response, what I can think of. And there's another question from Eric J. Can you comment on the gotong royong approach versus the community development concept, community ownership and participation? My comment is, it's about the same. What I mean is, community development concept is also working in the community with the community, but the approach, when we say gotong royong, means it is talking about, is not top-down management. It is the flat management. It is like shared leadership, but taking turn and all that, addressing and sharing the issues, and together looking at the issues and what need to be done, and it is done with project based. Thank you. And okay, that's the question.
Okay, friends, is there any other questions, or you needed much more clarification on this topic that has been dealt with? If it is there, then you are most welcome. Okay, another question by Gunalan. And the question is, how do we or the authority can control the issues where organization misuse gotong royong as a source of personal benefit monitoring? Good question. Now let's hear from our.
This is, thank you very much for all the former question also. And this is now getting, we are coming to the matter, because when we come to organization, the power is always an issue need to be addressed. Who is responsible and who's to whom that person is accountable. We say shared responsibility, but somebody has to take the responsibility. Is there no leader, authority matter in Gotong Royong? Yes, it is. And this is some of the response from the leaders. Some of the leaders from the Sabah context. There is a leader, people like Brother Rickson and those people that I can think of, they said that. And this is where, like in Matthew chapter 20, when we look, it is actually the disciples actually asked the question. Two disciples, they say, when you, Jesus, come into kingdom, can we sit at the right and the left? It is about the authority question they want to be. And Jesus, the others also not happy with that kind of discussion. And Jesus called the disciples. This would be my response. Call the disciples, say, when you have authority and how you can do, it is to serve. And so I would say that we need to, from my research point of view or writing and all that, I'm dealing with that. But again, some biblical passages or Jesus teaching will help me to understand, or we have to come out with this authority. And definitely there are cases Gotong Royong being used to the extent misused it. Can be any good thing can be also used and then misused. Once again, I read, how do we or the authority can control the issue where organization misuse? Yeah. Again, I would say as a Gotong Royong manner, we have to address that issue also together, and then be accountable to the community that we are. And then for the personal monetary benefit and all that, yes, the community have to come together and address the need. I would say so.
Okay. Hope whatever question being raised by participants, even though the answer may not be the perfect answer, yet we can actually gain something good from the response that we hear from our facilitator. Is there any other question, friends? Is there any other clarification you are in need with? You are most welcome to ask.
Now I just, okay, there is another question, right?
Yeah, there are two questions being placed in the meeting chat. It seems like underlying Gotong Royong as a need for a lot of communication. That's the first, not say question really, but something has been proposed with. And the second one, what is the principle of the Gotong Royong?
Principles of Gotong Royong from the slides also. There are some values. Sorry, excuse me. Cooperation, volunteerism is there. The values of taking turn, teamwork. These are some of that. And then I can comment on even teamwork. We neighborhood concern, help. These all are principles in Gotong Royong. Gotong Royong if it is go in the web research, it is called mutual help. I help you, you help me as neighbors. And so these are the principles. Say the way we are doing is because we are not waiting for a person who comes from outside. We cannot wait for somebody, a third party, to come from outside and then tell what to do and how to help and solve our issues. It is we are organizing, and we have the capacity, we have the capability, or we have some social response abilities. and therefore we can take care. These are, I would say, that some principles of gotong royong. And earlier it seems like underlying gotong royong, yeah, a lot of communication, yes. Communication, sometimes meetings and all that, people don't like it, and even gotong royong people experience coming for the meeting, they do not. But because of the trust, trust is another principle of gotong royong. With trust, we are doing that. So with trust, people will say, okay, we organize this, and then everyone will participate. Like that's this a normal gotong royong that we know of, the cleaning and all that. But with that principle or that way, also we organize social work.
Okay, thank you, friends. We have another questions, and maybe we can go for another 2 more questions before we come to a conclusion for this session. So there is a question being raised by Joanna. Actually, her background comes from Legion Care. Are there tools or assessment frameworks that exist to assess the communities you work with to apply values of mutual aid, especially people who come from different backgrounds to increase unity? What is your response, Brother Karthik?
Right now, from my experience, we don't have a framework. What we have right now, it is not a suggested framework. We only have a condition, the framework condition, the Malaysian framework condition. There is no particular tools or assessment, because social work right now, when we are looking at it, we are looking at the micro level also. If a person have a social needs, if it is from AIDS and HIV, that context, or drug addiction, or any other substance misuse, then education level or disability. So each has different assessment tools and assessment. But I'm talking about, I'm thinking about, we don't have to work in competition. We don't have to work in our circle. We can come out and then team up and then work together with the community. That means churches and other faith-based or language-based or organizations together, how we can do. So that is my the framework that I'm saying, well, the tool that I'm saying, how to approach in organizing. So I'm not I'm not aware of one general framework, or even to that exists to assess the communities that we are working. Hope I understand and answer the question, especially people who come from different backgrounds to increase unity. I think when we mention gotong royong, people understand generally what does it mean. If I asked one party, one old senior member, like I don't want to say old lady, a senior member, and different language group or background. And when I say gotong royong, everyone understand. Gotong royong and cooperation, these are two words. It's about the same for me when I say like that. Let's cooperate. People like how to. Let's gotong royong. People know, hey, we understand what is gotong royong. So that party that grandma said, it is working together lah. So that is the relaxed way of saying what is gotong royong. So it is the values of we don't have a framework or such a thing, or this is this, but we mention the word and we come together. We can, the mutual aid can help us to organize the social concern. And people from different backgrounds, to increase unity, let's mention gotong royong. May perhaps it works miraculously, like a miracle word. Gotong royong means then we're coming together. And someone even commented that it is gotong royong works right now. The Kerajaan Perpaduan also is gotong royong approach. We are coming together because for rakyat, we are coming together, sitting at the same table and then working together. Some of what I spontaneously coming to my mind, I'm commenting.
Okay, thank you, friends. Is there any other question to be raised? Maybe we can go for one more question. And is there anyone wanted to ask question? We can go for the last one. I don't read any question being placed in the meeting chat, and therefore, dear friends, if you want me to summarize the presentation that has been presented before all of us today by Reverend Karthik, I want to put it into 4 points. First, this whole subjects on Christian social care work. Actually, we do see the first thing, the terminology being used to refer what it means social work. There are quite a number of terminologies being used, and this terminology explain to us what it means all about social work that being engaged with. And secondly, of course, the facilitator, Reverend Karthik, highlighted or pointed out about the needs and the challenges. And we do see the needs of social ministry. At the same time, what comes with this ministry are the challenges that we face within this parameter of the ministry. And of course, he wonders by giving some examples how this ministry can become asset to all of us. Particularly, he also pointed out by saying that how misappropriation or mismanagement can bring real asset to this ministry. And finally, of course, what excited all of us is the approach that he placed forward, that is Gotong Royong model. This particular model has been the model within our country, and we are all very much familiar with this model. When we talk about Gotong Royong, of course, the speaker has been very much clear on this. When we talk about Gotong Royong, it's all about cleaning. It's all about cleaning. But the speaker actually exposed and explored beyond cleaning. He said Gotong Royong is all about coming together, working together for a common purpose to be established. So, Gotong Royong approach is actually a model that actually brings management skills for us to consider. So, with that, we wanted to say thank you to our facilitator, Reverend Karthik, appreciating for his commitment given towards the request of STM. And also, friends, participants, at this point of time, I take the privilege to thank all of you once again on behalf of STM. I want to say thank you for your kind self, willingness in participating, and I strongly believe truly one way or another you are being edified and truly being challenged by God to consider that Gotong Royong truly brings richest benefit into the life of our church and beyond into the life of community. So thank you once again, and thank you from your beloved Seminary Theology Malaysia. See you again at next forum with another interesting subject. Have a blessed day and good night.